a very big win. So my question is, at which point did you decide to take the film to Guneet and Netflix?
So I started the journey back in 2017, and we shot quite a bit of the documentary already. And at that point, I realized that this was such a special story to tell. And I think one of the core ideas was that I think one of the main core messages that I wanted to share this with the world. So that's when I reached out to Netflix and Alok TV channel in specific, and he's just amazing. And at that point, he just watched the small little promo that we had, and he fell in love with the story, and that was the beginning. Soon after, we had Sikya and Guneet come on board, and Achin, and that's how the story all began. This happened in around May of 2020.
Yes, sir. Go ahead. Go ahead. Just one moment, ma'am. He raised his hand right at the beginning. Yes.
Many congratulations to all of you all. I really don't have words to express the humbling experience I had when I watched this film. And I think there was a dialogue, the line in the film which said, "A gift from the gods." I think that is what I felt in this film truly was, and it also became my headline for the review. And I just feel, as an not just as a journalist but as a film enthusiast, I wanted to ask Kartiki and Guneet, the success of this gigantic success of this film. Do you think this will change the perception, the way our industry looks at, documentary filmmaking?
Yes, 100%. I think this does, and I hope that it paves the way for all people looking out to start out with small stories, and also small documentaries that don't have large budgets, because this is my debut film, and my background, I used to be a sales girl at Fab India. I worked in a gym, and I was in advertising for a couple of years, and here I am today. So I think I really hope this allows a whole generation of people who just stepping out in the world and showcasing the diversity that India has as local documentarians. I think that's really important, that we go out and share the beauty of our country with the outside world.
I think the coming of Netflix in India in such a big way has supported a lot of documentaries as a format, and made Indian audiences used to watching and appreciating documentaries. It's definitely a large platform like Netflix that is empowering storytellers, and that definitely allows more documentaries to happen as a format and to be celebrated in the biggest way. I hope this win will encourage a lot of young filmmakers, first-time filmmakers, and a lot of documentaries to get made and taken up more and more. I think India is definitely having a moment from last year, winning Cannes, Sundance. As documentarians, there are so amazing documentarians. I think Oscar is a huge honor, but I think it would not have been possible without a platform like Netflix empowering filmmakers for this format.
Thank you for your patience, ma'am. Yeah, go ahead.
Hi, this is Akriti here from Absolute India News. My question is for all of you. First of all, congratulations for the win. And I want to know, how was that moment like? Like the first reaction when you guys were announced as the winner at the Oscars?
It was actually really surreal, I think, at the moment. I replayed it in my head a couple of times because I was thinking of all the other documentaries that it could have been. But then I realized it was us, and it was Women in Belly, Our Elephants, and us up there. So we didn't waste any time hugging each other. I half held on to Guneet, but then I realized we had to run to the stage because the clock was ticking.
That's what I was.
And it was more of, okay, we need to go speak now. And I think that was the time that we had to speak to the world about our messages. So yes.
Hi, I am Akshay from INS Newswire. My question is for Monica. Netflix has been on a roll currently. I mean, there's stellar content coming up. There's Monica, which is my recent favorite, Monica, my darling, and of course we have the Oscar winner. How would the upcoming slate look like for Netflix, and what all content we will get to see in times to come?
I think first, the fact that these lovely people, who've made this amazing documentary are sitting here and have brought home the Oscar is a moment to celebrate. And I think I also want to say that all the creators, all the storytellers, filmmakers that we are working with, I think the rest of the year brings some amazing stories in all genres, you know, from series to films to documentaries to reality shows. And I think for us at Netflix, for the entire team at Netflix India, the effort is to really keep entertaining audiences, to make them see a different perspective on things, to really enjoy, like Rishi said earlier in the sort of afternoon, that at the end of the day, you come back home, you kick your shoes off, and you want to see something which just takes your mind off what you've been struggling with. Just enjoy, probably cry a little, laugh a little. I think that's what we've planned. And you're going to see amazing stories being belted out week on week. And really thank you to all the creators who make Netflix what it is, and to everyone who's a part of that journey.
Yes, ma'am, you can go ahead.
Hi, good evening. Firstly, I'd like to congratulate the team Elephant Whisperers for the big win. My question is to the three lovely ladies. For the longest time, the industry has been having this conversation that we like to see more women behind the camera. How hopeful are you that the Oscar win is going to propel the direction further for more women to be seen behind the camera, in the writing team, in the production team, in the directorial team?
Yes, definitely there is less than 5% women who are directors, and that stats is against us. But as producers, as Sikya, I can tell you that most of our work is female-centric stories or creators, and that's what we do our bit. I can definitely say from my point of view, Netflix has a huge push with women's stories. Most of their leads in amazing shows, in big budget shows, and also empowering producers like companies led by women, and further allowing us to empower. It's a whole chain, the business of filmmaking. I think it is, and I think your question is valid, but I can tell you that there is a lot of work happening. There's a lot of celebration that is happening. The change and the push in stats will not be immediate, but in this decade, it will be significant, and how, for sure.
I would like to add that in the wildlife industry, there has been a massive change already. We have many young women who have stepped out right now, who are cinematographers, directors, and people in front of the camera. And I think it's really beautiful to see this change happening. And in the coming years ahead, we're going to have a very strong woman force in the wildlife industry in India.
You know, I'm going to step in here because nobody's asked Achin a question.
Yeah, sorry, Rishi, can I just
Yeah,
quickly
please.
add to this? From a Netflix perspective, I would just say that we take this very, very seriously, very responsibly. That's why we have 50% of execs as women. Women are one half of the world, and there is no reason why we should not be represented, stories be told. So I think, like Guneet and Kartiki said, and I'm sure Achin and Rishi will agree, that it is a more fairer representation when we have more women telling stories of women, by the women, for women, and for the men, I think. And there are so many men out there who also want the same. So I think it's a journey, like Guneet said, we are all on it. And as members of the media, actually, it'll be amazing. I can see so many women journalists here. So I think it's amazing. More power to all of us, and more power to fairer storytelling and representation.
Yeah, Achin, being surrounded by women at Sikya. Talk about how empowering that is.
I think not just at Sikya, I think in general on a film set, or even while dealing with Netflix, while talking, I was just wondering, I think most of my conversation while dealing with this platform or a studio is with the females. So I think in general, I don't think we consciously, I think somewhere it's great that, people have started noticing that and focusing that, but I think as our storytelling, we have been as conscious as possible in our crewing, in our, and I think as a storyteller, what is in our hand is the storytelling, to be very honest. So that's where our real focus is. I mean, at Sikya, what we are doing is telling a lot of those stories, developing a lot of those stories. So I think yes, but behind the camera stats is true, and something I think I have changed. I've seen that change in last 15 years, and hopefully next decade the change will be more drastic.
Rishikesh, hi.
Hi.
I have a question for Achin. Achin, what does it take to make a film ready for Oscar?
यार अगेन आई मीन द रियलिटी इज कि किसी को नहीं पता कि क्या ऑस्कर में जाने वाला है. आप बहुत ऑनेस्टी से एक फिल्म बना रहे हैं, एंड अगेन आई मीन फॉर अस एलिफेंट विस्पर वाज एज स्पेशल एज इट इज राइट नाउ. आई मीन फॉर अस व्हेन December 8 it was releasing, I don't think we had a basic iota, you know, कि ये फिल्म ऑस्कर जीतेगी.
I was busy getting married.
She was busy getting married. Kartiki got an urgent visa, took a flight to US just to experience the release of the film. And it's so amazing that she is back with an Oscar. So I don't think any of us can plan, and it feels very weird when people say कि ये award कैसे आएगा. I think आप जितनी honesty से कहानी बोलोगे शायद award will follow.
I wanted to add to this, and I've said this from the days of Lunchbox, that especially for Oscar, what is needed is a very solid American distribution for your piece of content. For short format, you definitely need to apply to Oscar qualifying festivals. But for as you do feature films and as India sends more films, it's very, very important for the committee, for all of us to understand, and especially as press people, to understand the film should have solid America distribution. And I think this is what Netflix here has empowered and proven, because we are here because of extensive experience of Netflix US and the awards team and the global impact that the platform has in 190 countries and 231 million viewers. Everything adds up, and because we had solid American distribution, we were also on the service in America. There has been a very active conversation around the film, so the film was seen more, heard more, celebrated more. The fan art was huge, and I think we are here because of the incredible experience that was behind us of Netflix US. So this has been pushed by, of course, made by Netflix India, and Netflix at large is our distributor, is our studio, and that is what is the core. So I'm very hopeful to many more now.
Hi ma'am, my name is Disha. I'm from News 18. Hi, straight. Hi. I have two questions. First of all, I wanted to know is what are the aspects you think that appeal the Academy that led to the Oscar win? And secondly, I'll ask my second question after that.
I think we will all just sit here and guess, because it's a very fair voting process. There are 10,000 voters around the world, and we are not really allowed to ask them, or we are not really allowed to directly ask who voted, who did not vote. But I think if the film has appealed to so many people around the world, it's appealed to the voters also. It's the beauty of the film, it's the beauty of Kartiki's vision, and Baman and Belly, and their abundant love, their selfless abundant love, that transcended boundaries, that transcended age groups. We've had 2-year-old babies looking at the film spellbound. They're looking at it on Netflix, spellbound. They're not able to blink, and they're calling each other Raghu and Amu, brother, sister, two twins. We've gotten these videos. Our DMs are full with love. So I don't think the Academy voters are anyone else. They are all filmmakers. They're all excellent filmmakers, and the beauty of the film spoke to them above and beyond everything. And I think that is what we stand here and as testimony of that and of Kartiki's work.
Ma'am, my second question is actually to you only. Is that, see, we know you're a big Shah Rukh fan. Mannat is right here. Can we expect you to meet him anytime soon? And
I would love that. Shah Rukh Khan's sir tweeted, big hug Guneet, and my reply was, please in person. So even I'm waiting for that.